Deforestation is still occurring at rapid rates throughout the world, mainly due to conversion of forests to agriculture, generally for planting of crops or grazing livestock. Deforestation can have severe negative impacts on the environment, including loss of habitat for animals and plants, acceleration of climate change, increased soil erosion, and loss of timber resources for building homes or fuel wood, which many local communities depend upon. One way to overcome this problem is to develop reforestation programs. There's a number of different ways that we can grow forest tree seedlings in nurseries. The most common way in developing countries is to use these, what we call poly bags, which are small plastic bags that have holes in them. And they produce seedlings of relatively good quality, but one of the problems that we often experience is that the roots in these bags tend to spiral in circles, and the tree seedlings, when they're planted into the field, have relatively poor performance and oftentimes die, especially under droughty conditions. One way that we've been able to overcome this issue in developed countries is to use these relatively modern containers, which have ribs on the sides of the containers, but these are very hard to come by in developing countries, largely because the shipping costs are excessively high and the containers themselves cost a lot as well. So one option to overcome this problem is to use plastic bottles as an alternative container for producing forest tree seedlings. And these bottles are cheap. They're found everywhere throughout the world, and in fact they're often discarded after a single use and found in roadways and in fields. And so these can be repurposed for the use of growing forest tree seedlings that may have equal or better quality to those grown in the traditional polybag method. The modifications to develop the bottles to grow forest tree seedlings are relatively easy to make, and really anyone can do these at home. Just cut off the top of the bottle and then put in some holes in the bottom of the bottle to allow the water to drain from the bottom of the bottle and also facilitate root pruning of the bottle. And then a really important part of this is to develop slits in the sides of the bottles that keep the roots from spiraling around in the bottle container. An alternative to cutting slits in the side of the bottle is to develop ribs in the inside of the bottle, which is relatively easy to do as well. Whether you put slits in the side of the bottle or you install ribs on the side of the bottle, the function of doing this is to keep the roots from spiraling around in the container. And this generally leads to better root systems and better seedling quality and improved outplanting performance when the seedlings are planted in the field.